You've done something. Can't undo it. Now you regret it. Everyone says, learn from your mistakes, or forgive yourself, or let it go. But why do you regret at all? What is regret actually doing? Why does your mind keep returning to that moment, replaying it, rewriting it? Why can't you just stop? People say, learn from it. But that isn't an answer. That's what you're supposed to do after regret. The question is, what is regret? What work is it performing in your mind right now? Nietzsche's answer isn't about psychology or self-help. It's not about being kinder to yourself or developing better coping mechanisms. It's about time itself and what you think you are. The reason you regret has nothing to do with the past. It's about what the present is. The standard explanation goes like this. Regret is a learning mechanism. Evolution gave it to you. It prevents future mistakes. You feel bad about what you did, so you avoid doing it again. Simple, except why regret to avoid repeating the mistake? But why this particular mechanism? Because it works. You see the problem? This is circular. It describes that regret happens, not what it is. It's like saying fire is hot because it produces heat. True, but empty. You're just using different words for the same thing. Let's be honest about what's actually happening when you regret something. You replay the moment obsessively, not just remembering, rewriting. If only I had said X instead of Y. If only I'd noticed. If only I'd waited one more day. You're constructing alternate histories that never happened. The past becomes plastic in your mind, malleable, changeable. You sculpt it endlessly into better versions. But here's the strange part. You know it's fixed. You know the past is unchangeable. It happened. It's done. The atoms have moved. Yet you keep rewriting it anyway. Your mind performs this bizarre operation, treating something fixed as if it were open, something done as if it could be undone. Why? Would evolution give you a mechanism that makes you endlessly revise something you cannot change? What possible function could that serve? Common sense says, the past is done. I'm stuck with what happened. I wish I could change it, but I can't. That's why I feel bad. Nietzsche. Wrong. That's not the right framework. The problem isn't that you can't change the past. The problem is how you're relating to time itself. You think time works like this. Past equals fixed, present equals fleeting, future equals open. Linear time. One direction, irreversible. Past flows to present, flows to future. And you're a point moving along that line, forever leaving the past behind, forever arriving in the present, forever approaching the future. This creates the torture. I'm trapped in the consequences of what I did then. You experience yourself as a victim of your own history. Actually, more precisely, you experience yourself as separate from your history. And that separation is the source of regret. Let me show you what I mean. Think about what regret requires. It requires you, now in the present, judging you, then in the past. Two yous, present you versus past you. Present you is wise, sees clearly, would do better. Past you was foolish, blind, made the mistake. You've split yourself in two. Present you disowns past you. I wouldn't do that now. That wasn't the real me. I was stressed, I was young, I didn't know better, I wasn't myself. But this is a lie you tell yourself. Past you is you. Same organism, same brain structure, same patterns of thought, same history that produced you. The person who made the mistake is the person having the regret. They're not separate beings. There is no wise present you standing outside your history, judging it from some transcendent position. There's only one you, extended through time, continuous. Regret equals you at war with yourself. You're trying to be innocent of your own actions, trying to declare, that person who did. That? Not really me. I'm the one who regrets it. The regret proves I'm better than the action. Nietzsche calls this ressentiment, poisonous self-division. But wait, Where does this fiction come from? Why do we split ourselves this way? Nietzsche traces it to Christian morality. But really, it's any guilt-based moral system. Christianity just perfected it. Christianity tells you you are a soul trapped in sinful flesh. Your true self is pure, innocent, good, made in God's image. But you keep doing bad things. You sin, you fail, you hurt people. How to reconcile this? Easy. Those actions aren't the real you. They're temptations you succumbed to. The devil, the flesh, your lower nature. The real you is the innocent soul that regrets afterward, that feels guilty, that wants to be good. This splits you, innocent observer versus guilty actor. And it gives you a psychological escape hatch. You get to say, I'm not really that person who did that terrible thing. That was me giving into temptation. The real me is the one who feels bad about it now. You get to feel morally pure while still having done the deed. Let us be honest. This is cowardice dressed as conscience. You want the comfort of innocence without earning it through the hard work of actually owning what you've done. The cost is permanent self-alienation. You can never fully own your actions. You're always distancing yourself from your own life. The past becomes this foreign country where someone else did things you now inherited the consequences for. And you, pure observing consciousness, just got stuck with the bill. Christianity and its secular descendants, guilt culture, therapy culture, moral self-improvement, keep you split. In his genealogy of morals, Nietzsche traces how bad conscience developed. Humans had aggressive instincts. When civilization arose, it forbade outward violence. Those instincts couldn't disappear. They just turned inward. Self-torture, endless self-judgment. The psychic prison where you're both guard and prisoner, both judge and criminal. And regret is the daily ritual of that prison. Every time you regret, you reenact the split. Innocent present you versus guilty past you. The trial never ends. The verdict is always guilty. The sentence is always you should have been different. And you accept the sentence because accepting it feels like being good. So what's the alternative? How do you relate to past actions without regret? Nietzsche's answer, amor fati, love of fate. Not acceptance, that's too passive, still implies you'd prefer it otherwise if you could. Not forgiveness, that still implies the act was wrong and you're just being merciful to yourself. Love, active affirmation, full-throated yes. I did that. Yes, I did that. And I would have every atom of history lead to exactly that moment again. Own it completely. Not as a mistake you've learned from, but as a necessity. Remove the moral judgment entirely. This sounds insane. Love my worst mistakes. Love hurting people. Love my failures. You're still thinking in moral categories, good and bad, should and shouldn't. Try thinking in terms of necessity instead. Given who you were, what you knew, the forces acting on you in that moment, could you have done otherwise? Really, you're claiming you had some magical free will disconnected from your biology, your history, your circumstances, the laws of physics? Or another way, if you could rewind the universe to that exact moment, same atoms, same configuration, same initial conditions, would it play out differently? No. It would happen exactly the same way, because you are your history, your biology, your circumstances. There's no you standing outside causation who could have chosen differently. Which means what? Here's the paradox. You become free by accepting you're not free. The belief in free will is what creates suffering. I could have done otherwise leads to I should have done otherwise, leads to regret, leads to self-torture. But if you see your actions as necessary, given the conditions, where's the regret? You did what you did because that's what you were at that moment. Not that you were a victim. Not that you were a passive instrument. You were the doing itself, a necessary force. The river doesn't regret flowing downhill. The leopard doesn't regret its spots. The fire doesn't regret burning. They are what they are, doing what they do. Why should you regret being what you are? Look at anyone you deeply admire, an artist, a thinker, whoever. Their greatness came from their flaws, their obsessions, their particular damage. Van Gogh's madness produced his paintings. Dostoevsky's suffering produced his novels. Remove their mistakes, and you remove them. They weren't great despite their darkness. They were great through it. The darkness was necessary, and so were your actions. All of them. Now Nietzsche gives you a test, a thought experiment. Imagine this. You will live your exact life again, infinitely. Every detail the same, every joy, every suffering, every regret, on infinite repeat. Every mistake you made you'll make again, forever. That embarrassing thing you said at 15? Again. That person you hurt? Again. That moment you can't forgive yourself for? Again. Infinite times. How do you respond? Despair. No, not that moment again, please, anything but that. Or can you say, again, yes, exactly this, forever? This is the test of whether you've achieved amor fati. If there's any moment you wish to erase, any action you disown, any part of your past you'd rather delete, you fail. You're still split, still at war with yourself. But if you can say yes to eternal return, if you can love your life so much that you'd want to live it exactly as it is, infinitely, you've unified yourself. You are your past, not its victim or its judge. Nietzsche got this idea walking near Sils Maria in August 1881. A sudden vision. He called it 6,000 feet beyond man and time. He didn't mean it as a cosmological theory. Maybe the universe actually repeats, maybe it doesn't. He meant it as a psychological test. Can you love your life as it is, including the regret-worthy parts, including everything you wish had gone differently? Most people can't. They'd change things, edit, revise. They fail the test. But if you pass, something strange happens to time itself. If you say yes to eternal return, past and present and future collapse into each other. You're not moving through time linearly anymore. You are eternal recurrence itself. The you now and the you then are the same you, the same moment, eternally returning. There's no distance between them, no separation. So who's regretting what? You can't regret because there's no innocent present you judging guilty past you. There's just one you, eternal, necessary, complete. Regret requires the fiction of linear time with separated selves moving along it. Dissolve that fiction, and regret dissolves. This is why Nietzsche says eternal return is the highest formula of affirmation. It destroys the very conditions that make regret possible. You become what you are, not what you should have been or could have been. Those counterfactuals vanish. There's only what is, and its eternal return. Remember the question at the beginning? Why do you regret? Answer: because you think you're separate from time, separate from your actions, separate from yourself. Regret is the symptom of self-division. The cure is unity. But this is inhuman. You're asking me to love everything, even suffering, even harm I caused others. Yes, anything less is weakness, dishonesty, resentment. You want the comfort of innocence without earning it through full self-ownership. The Christian wants to disown their shadow and still get into heaven. The therapeutic culture wants to heal from the past, still treating it as a wound, as something other than themselves that they're recovering from. Nietzsche offers no such comfort. Become who you are, own every atom of it, or remain split, sick, full of regret. This is the path of the Übermensch, the overman, beyond good and evil, beyond regret and guilt, living in what he calls eternal noon. All moments present at once, no past to regret, no future to dread. Just eternal yes. Most people can't do it. It's too hard, too honest, too terrifying. They'll choose comfortable self-deception instead. They'll keep the split, keep the regret, keep telling themselves they're better than their actions. Can you do it? So, you asked why you regret. Not because regret is useful, not because evolution selected for it, not because it helps you learn. Those are just descriptions, not explanations. You regret because you haven't unified yourself yet. You're still split. Judge and criminal, present and past, innocent and guilty. You're still operating under the Christian framework, even if you're not religious, that splits your soul from your actions, your true self, from what you actually do. Regret is the symptom of that sickness. Nietzsche's cure is amor fati combined with eternal return, full self-unity beyond time. But here's what I haven't explained. If you do achieve this unity, what happens to ethics, to responsibility, to the possibility of change? If everything is necessary and you love it all, why strive for anything different? Why try to be better? Doesn't amor fati lead to quietism, to accepting everything, even atrocities? That's Nietzsche's next problem. A different question entirely. I've got to stop somewhere.